Chetry. For the first time, a top credit ratings agency seriously hinting that the United States may not be able to pay its debt. That warning sends stocks plunging, and it could mean dramatic changes for the country and the rest of the world. The White House responds on this American Morning. Talking about Texas, and one firefighter describing it as hell on earth. Close to 200. And good morning to you. So glad you're with us on this Tuesday. It's April 19th, and boy, they are dealing with quite a mess in Texas. They say every county in the state, except for two, has some fire, sort of wildfire burning.
And 98% of them started by a human, some sort of a spark. It doesn't take much there. Really dry tinder. That's what's sparking all this.
And not a lot of good weather or rainy weather in store for them. Also ahead this hour, America's dire money warning. The market.
Tomorrow marks a year since the deadly rig explosion in the Gulf of Mexico that ended up triggering the worst oil spill in U.S. history. 11 people died. Today, that number has dwindled now to 2,000. And the other interesting thing that we were talking about when this first happened, this was a year ago that this happened, we didn't realize just how the magnitude would be. They couldn't get that thing closed. The blow-up preventer failed. 86 days we followed. That oil spewing into the Gulf.
The world followed it. America followed this thing. We had no idea on day one that was going to be how it was going to turn out. And our special coverage, CNN's in-depth coverage, the Gulf a year later, continues now with Rob Marciano. He's live in New Orleans this morning, a place where you spent a lot of time a year ago.
Rob was among our team of CNN reporters on the ground. You know, Rob, you focused on
if they can get those marshland, if they can really make that effort, and it's going to be very costly. The other interesting thing when you're down there, and you remember this too, Allie, is you'd see oil rigs and fishing boats. Oil rigs and fishing boats. I mean, oil and fishing, both a way of life down there. Some families were fishermen and they worked. So how do people feel? Has their feelings about offshore drilling changed in this past year?
Well, I think across America, and we have a CNN poll.
8 o'clock, Piers Morgan at 9, and AC 360 at 10. They're going to continue.
Coming up next, a safer environment for Facebook for its more.
This has become a controversial business. Pregnant tourists paying thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars in many cases, to have their babies born in the U.S. Now, this is part of the overall story on birthright citizenship. It's an issue that, according to a CNN Opinion Research Corporation poll,
almost split down the middle when it comes to whether or not people who are born in America, if their parents are illegal immigrants, should they be automatic citizens. It's literally 49-51 or 51-49, so pretty much down the middle within the margin of error. Joining us now to talk more about new laws that would ban the practice, Marshall Fitz. He's the Director of Immigration Policy at the Center for American Progress, and also Mark Krikorian, the Executive Director of the Center for Immigration Studies, which advocates for tougher immigration controls. I want to welcome both of you gentlemen to the program. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Let me start with you, Mark. A lot of questions about just how big of a problem this birth tourism actually is. I mean, when you hear it, it sounds unbelievable. But actually, how often is this happening?